What happened to her exactly?
She developed breast cancer when Ahana was about 3 years old. Children don't know how to breathe. I just told her one day you will never see her again. And it was tough. When the doctor says, the doctor who is supposed to be a Padma Shri doctor said casually, like, no need if she doesn't want. What do you do? Like, you believe in that, right? Like, okay, if he doesn't have a problem, why should I have a problem? Probably it went wrong there. It went around her body and it ate away her spinal column. So then we were shocked to see in the X-ray, in the MRI, that not many vertebrae left. It's all been eaten up, and there were holes in the skull.
You never thought of remarrying?
Yes, I did think about, but I didn't think about remarrying with the angle of getting Ahana a mother.
What's the importance of paragliding in your it's not just a sport, I know.
Yeah.
So how do you put that?
It is my passion. I always wanted to be a pilot while I was growing up. So it just built from there, and then I realized that okay, paragliding is like having your own aircraft on your backpack, and you can take it wherever you want to go.
I just want to know any incident where you thought कि ये मुझसे नहीं होगा, ये मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा.
So that is not the challenge. The challenge was to change from the preconceived notion that I had that I am the alpha, that my daughter should be scared of me, and that I should be able to just look at her and she should tremble, to a point where I want to talk to her about her periods. One thing that I've realized is there are several ways of having a flat on the head.
Welcome to another episode of Dive-ine Waters. My name is Leena Tandon, and I have a very dear friend with me today who heads an international airlines, who is a paraglider. And today we are actually diving in the air instead of waters. So let me introduce Sajid Khan.
Thank you, Leena. Thank you for this opportunity. And I hope I can take you for a flight with the experiences that I'm going to talk about. And we'll try to keep it as light as possible.
So starting off with, I want to know about your family. You had an intercaste marriage, and how did that pan out?
So yeah, not only intercaste, it was an interfaith marriage, and I married my friend from college, and she was Tambram and Muslim Pathan, and it was interesting initially when we started off. Obviously, when we met, we didn't think about these things. It was just two friends who got to know each other and enjoyed spending time with each other. And that's how we started. And now, then we had a daughter, Ahana. She is now going to be 23. She's just completed her 22nd birthday in a few months. And she's going to move to Paris to study. So it's been a long journey from having a little baby to she actually moving out to study somewhere. So yeah.
And you are a single father.
Yes.
How was it to take up the role of a mother in a girl child's life?
I cannot even come close to being a mother, but I tried. Losing your wife, who was also your best friend and who you did things with most of the years of growing up, suddenly changes a lot of things in you. So you got to deal with the loneliness, with the pain, with also the pain of your daughter losing a mother. So it's a difficult thing to cope with, and I learned it along the way is all I can say. Of course, there's family support, tremendous family support, support from friends, and but ultimately in the end, in the night when you're on the bed with your daughter and your wife is not there anymore with you, that's the time when it really hits you hard, and I guess you basically have to show up and figure out what needs to be done next.
And if I may ask, what happened to her exactly?
Okay, so she developed breast cancer when Ahana was about 3 years old, and she passed away by 2009. Actually, it was grade 0, in fact, not even grade 1. So it was a very early stage of breast cancer, but it moved aggressively. Strangely, the first thing people think about breast cancer is mammogram. Mammogram came negative.
Okay.
So we thought, okay, that's great. Then they said, okay, let's do fine needle aspiration, FNAC, which means they put a needle and take a little bit out, tissue out and check. That came negative. So
Then
we were like, great, this is just nothing but a lump. And so instead of letting it be there, we thought of, let's excise it. Doctor said, excise it if you don't want to keep it over there. And they sent it for histopathology testing. And we went back. We were in India when we did that. We went back to Dubai same day as the operation, and it was like, great, we all good. 1 month later, because of some insurance issues, we got the report back saying that it is in fact cancer. So, and one of those cancers which infiltrates.
and there was no reverse from there.
No, we tried. We did a lot of things after that. You when it hits you, it it's hard to believe. Then the first thing is that you just like we read it like 3-4 times, and then you go speak to doctors and you run around and like, what the hell is going on? And then they say, oh yes, 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 and then after that acceptance comes the fight. Okay, let's fight this. Okay, so now then everybody in the family is like, come on, let's fight this. Everyone starts with vegetable juice and fruit juice and all sorts of things, which is in a very positive way. And so then you go to the doctor, you figure out, and then they say, okay, you need to start the treatment, and the treatment includes radiotherapy and then chemo. Since the cancer was not that developed in stages, in the higher stages, they did another set of surgery in which, while the patient is on the operating table, they make sure that the area is free of cancer tissue, so that they make sure that all the cancer tissue is taken away from that while they do live testing on the operating theater table. So that was done, and then chemo started. She did 2 chemos, and she was not a very big believer in chemo, and she was more a heavy believer in everything that was organic, natural,
Alternate
therapies. Big believer in that. So she asked the doctor if she asked me, in fact, should I stop? I said no. But then she asked the doctor, and the doctor said, it's okay, you don't need to. So she stopped that, and we did everything else after that, and didn't stop there. Sadly, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe with another 2 chemo sessions, maybe it would have helped. We don't know.
Do you still hold that guilt?
I don't think it's a guilt. It's more anger, frustration, not on my part, but because I told her, look, it's your life. You need to decide, when she asked me. But I think in hindsight, everything looks good, right? So, but I think that maybe I should have pushed her a little bit more. But look, when the doctor who is supposed to be a Padma Shri doctor, Padma Shri holder, and who has said casually, like, no need if she doesn't want. What do you do? Like, you believe in that, right? Like, okay, if he doesn't have a problem, why should I have a problem? So that's where probably it went wrong there.
And how did you confront Ahana? Or how did you tell her about?
Nah, we couldn't tell her that. She was too young. She was 3 years old at that time, and but she did see that she saw that we moved back to India, and Amma was always on the bed, and she would always ask, when are we going to the park? When are we going to the park? Because she was brought up in Dubai, and there are a lot of parks and nothing else to do but malls and parks. And she realized that it's slowly, she just couldn't even get up. So actually, what happens is, I don't know if you want to hear about this, but it's a little bit.
No, of course.
deep.
Please.
So what actually happens is, the cancer spread to other systems in the body. It moved from the breast, it went on to the bones, and goes to different organs. So in the 3 years of she stopping chemo and doing things, it went around her body and it ate away her spinal column. So there were no vertebrae left. So it's like termites. So then we were shocked to see in the X-ray, in the MRI, that not many vertebrae left. It's all been eaten up, and there were holes in the skull. So, like, nobody told us about this, and so we had to make a cage for her to sit. So she used to wear a cage with iron, so that she would at least sit. Otherwise, there's nothing. There are only 32 vertebrae holding our body, the top body with the bottom part. So those kind of things happened, and then Ahana saw those things happening, and yeah, I didn't tell her when she passed away for 4 days because I just couldn't bring myself to tell her. But she asked, and that day and the things that happened after that day for 2 days, I don't like to talk about it. That's a little difficult for me.
So, how has your journey been with Anna? Because, I mean, it just came suddenly to you, all the responsibilities. And it's always said that a mother and daughter align in a certain way, and a father and a son align in a certain way.
True.
Bringing up the same sex is also very, very difficult. But bringing up an opposite sex child is even much more difficult. So
Yeah.
I remember once you telling me that you went to a salon to learn how to braid.
Yeah.
कि उसको स्कूल जाना है तो मुझे उसके बाल बनाने हैं, and every time I cannot ask for help.
Yeah.
कुछ चीजें मुझे खुद सीखनी पड़ेंगी ताकि I have to get her ready to school. So how was it as a father? What changed at that point when it actually hit you that now it's only me for her?
So there was a defining moment for that. But somehow, although I did not believe that Lali will pass away, like 90% of my brain was always telling me that no, she not telling me, but I was like, I didn't want to accept it, even till the end. But 10% was, I knew it's going to come. It's not getting better. So I was sort of ready, but also not ready. The first time it hit me was when I cremated her and I came back home, and I sat on the sofa, and I remember my brother sitting, and I was just crying because what was going on in my mind was, she's in the first standard, I have to take her to the 10th standard. How's that going to happen? And I was just crying. How's that going to happen? How's that going to happen? Like, I was in the job immediately. I don't know how it was done, but you adapt. See, what's more important is you need to connect, right? It's your daughter. Like, you need to give her the best. So how are you going to do this? Now you need to figure out how to do it. You have to be soft, kind. She's going through her bit about losing a mother, and she didn't grieve. Children don't know how to grieve. I just told her one day, you will never see her again, and it was tough. But yeah, it's how do you bring up a child as yeah. So I had to go learn how to, because Lali used to do that. I never did that, and also how to play with Barbie dolls. Oh my god, the most toughest thing I would say is playing with dolls. I used to throw a ball at her. Yeah, guys, you throw a ball at us, we go mad. We just like dogs. Like, you throw something at us, and we'll go want to run and play with the ball. But I had to sit down and play with Barbies, and it was sit down on the side, and they were like, I somehow everyone used to give her Barbies, so we had like 30, 40 Barbies. Okay, Abba, she's now going. Okay, you comb her hair. Like, I'm like 15 minutes of combing that hair. I can't stop. And then, okay, she's going to this party, she's going to that. Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. Like, Anna, let's go out. No, Appa, sit down. That was more tough, I think. So then what happened was I started taking her out. I started taking her out paragliding because I used to go fly. So she used to hang with my pilot friend, sadly. She heard all the songs that I listened to, from Guns N' Roses, Metallica to, she knew all the songs because she didn't have a choice. She had to do whatever I did. So that was fun. But yes, it's that's the lighter part of it. But the serious part of it is, like, I had to travel. Now you work for an airline and you travel. And I remember I was in Spain, and Ahana had to go to school, and it's at 2 a.m, and she wants to hear from me. My mother is running around her, and one thing that I've realized is there are several ways of having a plait on the hair.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and it changes from person to person. So there's no single way. So everyone can have a style. So when I started off, my style was here. I used to do the plaits here. Then I slowly, she told me, I don't want this like that. I want it like this, hanging down. So I had to push them here. Then at times it used to be one here, one here. So then I got the symmetry right. My mother would have her own style, and my mother would have plaits starting from here. So now they would come up like this when she saw. So that was not okay. So I had to direct that. And I remember every night of 10 days, I had to do that. And then she would miss the bus. If she missed the bus, then my mother had to get an auto and then go after the
Take her to
bus,
school.
and all that stuff used to happen. So it was pretty interesting at that time. So not only these small things, but what the biggest thing that I learned was how to speak. I am a full alpha male. I have been in fights in colleges. I'm known as a boisterous, full Bombay, typical Bombay guy. But talking to a girl child and to fuss about things is not something that we know. I have grown up with five brothers, and we never had a girl child in our midst. And we are all boys. We want to break things, or if something happens, if we fall down, it's okay. We don't need to make a fuss. What I learned, the biggest thing is that how to make sure that even though it's a small thing, you need to make it a big thing. Because for a girl child, it's not about what's happened here, but it's about not the hurt over here, but it's about what reaction I am giving and caring and showing care to her is more important. So those lessons I have learned, and that has also helped me in my relationship with my female friends. I realize, okay, why do they do this? Why is it so important? And that's the thing. Guys want femininity in the opposite sex. Heterosexuals want femininity. I'm looking for that femininity. I want to see makeup. I want the fuss. I want all that. But when it comes to your daughters, we don't see that. We don't see the same thing. Okay, we see that. Okay, come on, grow up quickly. Don't make a fuss. Let's move. But it's not that. It's you have to be soft. You have to be kind. You have to be. Ahana always asked, if she likes somebody, she would only always say, that man is kind, I like him. She only saw kindness. I learned a lot from her. So while I learned how to be a single parent, I also learned a lot from her as a girl child and what she's looking at. You have to observe those things. So kindness is something that she's looking as a quality in a person. Am I kind enough for her to think that her father is kind? Probably not.
I mean, it was a very, very, very big responsibility. Today, a lot of people don't want to have kids because they're not prepared or not ready to take that much of responsibility. You never thought of remarrying? That okay, if I'll have somebody with me, it'll be easier to bring Anna up, and also as a emotional subordinate or a partner, which will balance me out in some way.
So, yes, I did think about, but I didn't think about remarrying with the angle of getting Ahana a mother. That was very clear. It was clear that whoever it is not going to be the mother. It's going to be my companion. I want a companion. I don't want somebody for Ahana to call mother. No, that's me and her. That nobody will come in between that. So I think when Ahana was in the seventh or eighth, I started. I found someone, and I thought this will be it, but that didn't work out. And in hindsight, it seemed like I would have had two daughters. So it's better it didn't go there. But I did give it a shot, and I wanted a companion, and I felt that Ahana would understand. I had a situation where my mom called me once when I was out with this person, and she said, Sajid, you need to come back. She's crying and she's lying on the bed holding Lali's picture on her chest. I said, oh my God, that is not acceptable. For my happiness, I can't let that. So I went, ran back home, drove back home, and she was lying down, holding, clutching. She's never done that before. I was like, what happened? No, you're not here anymore. You're not spending time with me, and you're busy with, So I said, no, I thought you'll understand. But I kept my conversation and discussion with her always open. Even as a father, I don't need to tell her what I'm doing. But I used to tell her, okay, you're important. I'm going here. I'm doing this. I'm doing this because of this reason. So my communication with her has always been very, very clear. If I'm meeting somebody, if I want to be with somebody, I am trying. So I thought you understood. She didn't understand. Obviously, she didn't understand. She's a kid. Why should she understand? And that sort of made me feel that, okay, I need help. So there were counselors in her school who spoke to her, because she went and told the counselors that, my Abba's busy with, he's found somebody and she felt that I was sharing the love. So they called me and they said, your daughter is saying this. I said, oh my God, it's gone that bad. But she started accepting it. She realized that Abba needs somebody. Abba needs his age people. So one day I got somebody set me up with somebody in I've never met. She's got a kid. So my first thing was there should be no kids, because I already have one. And first of all, one new person. Then if there are kids, then those it's not going to work out. So I was going home with Ahana in the car, and I was going to drop her and then go ahead. She said, Abba, please don't go out. Where are you going? I said, no, I got to go meet someone. Abba, I'm not feeling well. Abba, if Ahana says I'm not feeling well, then
of course the focus is
tied around her little finger. So obviously I said, okay, listen, Ahana, I have been set up. I'm going to see this lady. She said, what? I said, yes. And you can come. She said, are you sure? I said, yeah, come. So she said, okay, Abba, I'll do one thing. You sit, I will go shop. Okay. And then you finish, then we'll go back together. I said, but you can come sit also. It's not a problem. No, Abba, I'll go and shop. And that was the time when she was recently become independent in going around the, I'm always worrying about her safety. So we go to this mall, and she's like walking, she's holding my hand, like, it's my father types, So when park the car, go up, she's like, okay, Abba, drop me here at Zara. Okay, you go. So I said, are you sure? So I'll be in Starbucks. You come there. If there's any problem, or just call me. I'll be here. Okay. So I went. So we go sit, and I said, look, my daughter is also here. And she was not. She said, oh, okay, and all that stuff. We started talking. Must have been a minute and a half. Ahana is at the door. Says, and she's like, I said, come in. So she comes in. She's like trying to sit on the other chair. I said, sit with us. So she said, hi, hello, and all that. I said, you finished? Yeah, but I finished. 1.5 minutes, she finished Zara.
And she didn't want to leave her father alone with somebody else. Yeah.
So I've done these things also. That's why I left it open. I never gave her the doubt to think that, I'm doing something different. I think that's very important in keeping. So then she had a boyfriend.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I don't like that.
What? You don't like it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's a typical father.
I told her no boyfriends. So so she grew up, right? And after 10th, she started asking me, can I go on a date? Like, okay, a side story to this. This is how it happened. When she was in her kindergarten in Abu Dhabi, we were living in Abu Dhabi that time. So I go pick her up in the car, and I'm driving. She's sitting behind in the center seat behind with a seatbelt on, sunglasses, full Gulf kid. I'm driving, I'm doing 120 kilometers. And she said, she's sitting, I'm looking at her in the rearview mirror, and she says, Abba, I want to tell you something. Small kid, please remember that. So I said, yeah, baby, what happened? I want to tell you something. I said, yeah, tell me. And she said, don't say no, Barbie, or something is what I thought. I want to marry Rashid.
What, she must be 2, 3?
I took the car on the side. I turned around. I said, what? Who's Rashid? What is going on? And I know this Rashid guy because I just said bye to him over there.
And he's also tiny.
Yeah.
Of course. Huh.
So from there, to she telling me, Abba, I want to go on a date. I said, again, I was driving on the freeway in Bombay. And I said,
And now she's what?
now she must be
16,
yeah,
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I want to date. I want to go on a date. I said, what is date? So she said, no, let's go have coffee. I said, yeah, right. So
16-year-old dates and
please, yeah.
35, 40-year-old dates are, of course, different.
So she said, yeah, whatever.
Huh.
She shouldn't go on a date. So,
Okay.
So she said, okay. I said, okay, who's the guy? And this guy from whatever. I said, okay. So she went on a date and then slowly, no, this, that, like this happened. And then she found a guy and she was like, I has to come drop her, pick her up. That was my thing. And I was like, it was very, very difficult for me. That's another thing about being a father, forget a father, just being a man, that you don't want your father, sorry. You don't want your daughter to be with anybody else. And for me, okay, let's put it this way. If Lali was alive, I would be the strict father. That this would never happen. I could never go and tell my father or my mother that I'm going on a date or come drop me, pick me up and all that. But I realized that I need to have this thing as easy as possible and open, that she has to talk to me. If she starts hiding things because she can't trust me or can't, then it's going to be difficult. So I said, it's okay, you can go. Can you pick me up from here? I'm meeting so and so. I said, yeah, it's difficult. I don't like it, but I have to accept it. Again, another change in my life. So I feel communication, making her understand that, whatever happens, you can come to me and I will take care of it.
So, a lot of single parents also feel that they'll be happier if they're enrolled in a boarding. Maybe it's easier for them to handle a child, and probably it's easier for a child to grow up in an atmosphere where he's much more athletic, more focused on studies, or out of his house, because maybe the environment in the house is not that great. What do you think? What do you suggest for? Do you think boarding is a good suggestion for people to take it up?
I don't know. I really don't know, because it could work for someone, it could not work for someone. In my case, it is be it a male child or a girl child. First of all, I don't want to make this differentiation between a male child and a girl child. The only reason why I'm saying girl child is that I learned something new from her and from raising her, is how to be more empathetic, softer, kinder, nicer, is what I learned. So that's the differentiation. That's the reason I'm saying. But a child is a child, okay? Whether you want to bring the child up together, or I know so many people who are perfectly healthy and have both parents, and they still put their child up in boarding because they think that that's the way they want to bring up the kid. But in my case, I have a child who has just recently, who's like 4.5, 5-year-old kid who's lost her mother, and now I want to put her in a boarding school where even I am not there. For me, that is a little harsh, because I firmly believe that we as parents, our job is to bring up the kids. What is wrong? What is right? What is good? What is not good? What you can do? What cannot do? What are the values? And certain values come from themselves. We don't add everything. They themselves know what is right and wrong. It is just a little bit of guidance needed, but that's important as a parent. So for me, that was not an option. It works for some people, and most of the times, wherever you hear boarding people speak, and they say, I loved my days in the boarding school. Nobody says, oh my god, my parents did a bad thing. No, they eventually learn, but it didn't work for me. I wouldn't do that. And for me, I want that connect. I want to raise a child. I want to make sure that she is brought up in the right way, and I'm able to contribute, because my kid, where am I going to get another chance to do that?
So we stay in a metropolitan city where we are more open to talking about issues with whether it's a girl child or a male child. We're more open to talking about issues, how we are feeling, how they are feeling. In a lot of smaller cities, they don't even have the understanding or the knowledge or the strength to even ask and accept what the child is feeling, or to tell the child how they are feeling and how they want to kind of come together and make that relationship beautiful. So, what do you think for parents who are not very open to communicate with their kids? How do they kind of take the course forward?
That's a very beautiful question. It's not only about kids, it's also communication is with every relationship. But before we get there, I've seen one reel where there's this father who's come to drop his daughter to a ST bus stand where his daughter is going for some. The father looks like a very tough guy, okay, big guy, tough guy, but he's so soft inside for his daughter that he once has come to drop, and she is making a video saying that, look, my father has come to drop me, he doesn't need to, I'm grown up, but he's come every time I come back, he's here to drop me, and then he's running with the bus to say bye. Doesn't go with the exterior. This is what we see when we see a person. Oh, this guy must be like this, because we have preconceived notions. I'm guilty too, everybody is. But the connect is not about small town or big town. The connect is a father and a daughter, period. There is a connect, and it's a very beautiful thing. Now coming to your question about communication problem, coming from the corporate world, I see a lot of communication problems, a lot. Especially we bring work home, we as in the metropolitan cities. So one of the things that I did after I lost Lali is I realized the amount of time I wasted fighting with her, amount of time I wasted on emails at home, amount of time I wasted going to work and thinking about this and that. I realized that I will stop work and leave it at the office and not bring it home. At home, I want to be with Ahana. I want to spend as much time I can, and I give her everything that I can. It's not easy to do because I'm in an aviation industry, and things do happen. Flights come in late. There is a little bit that you need to do. But there's one particular point of time when Ahana was probably 5 years old, and I had brought work home. I was supposed to get a promotion. I didn't get that promotion, and I had to move my cabin and give it to the other person, and I had to move into a smaller cabin, and it was a big blow for me, for my ego. The work, money, nothing changed. It's just an ego thing that I had. And I had come home. I remember putting Ahana to bed at 8:30 because that's what Ali did. So I have to continue that. And she's lying down, and I'm like in my thing. And then Ahana asked me about what happened. Why are you so serious? I said, nothing, baby. Something at work. What happened afterwards is what Lali would have done. And I still feel till date that is unreal. Ahana gets up from the bed, who's lying down, lights are slightly on. She gets up, she sits, she keeps her hand on my chest, which Lali used to do. She's never seen Lali do that. Lali's always used to calm me like that. She used to tell me, says, Sab theek ho jayega. And she said, Abba, everything will work out. And she went back to sleep. And for a 5-year-old kid to do that, I couldn't believe that. And for some time I was like, oh my God. So that communication, that understanding of communication, the want to be heard or to hear or to be involved in your child's life actively is only possible through communication. People who don't communicate, I've seen many people don't communicate because they cannot frame what they are feeling inside, but they show from actions. But when it comes to a child, the more discussion you have, the more open you keep it for them to be able to tell you, I think it's better. And I think when I was growing up, or probably you were growing up, you were also raised by a single parent. We didn't have the luxury of going back to our parents and saying that, look, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
I was in depression in 8th standard, apparently, which I figured now because I used to not have interest in doing anything. And for days on end, I would lie down on the bed. Nobody knew anything. Even I did not know it was depression. It probably was depression without any cause, without any, it was just something that happened. And now I realize that. So we just raised ourselves without talking to anybody.
Yeah.
But why should I, when I know that I can talk to my daughter?
Because that time the awareness was very little.
Very less. I don't think it's also about awareness, Leena. I think it's your gut instinct. It's your gut that, look, I'm going to drop her to Paris now for her to study. And for me, it's going to be a very lonely time when I come back. Okay. Everybody is asking me, how you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? They're making me feel like, should I be feeling bad? Should I be feeling down? Should I be feeling? But then I'm not feeling sad. I'm feeling proud that look what she's grown up into, and that she's going to be on her own and find herself. And she needs to do that. She needs to have that journey. She needs to go learn to live, learn to be on her own, be independent. One thing she asked me when she was like 6-7 years or 5-6 years at that time, and that really blew my mind, was one day she asked me generally, Abba, I said, yeah, baby, till what age do I have to listen to you? Like, shit, this is going to be a problem. This is not going to work. Like, she's already deciding that, she wants to revolt against me. But that's not the case. She wanted to know when she can become independent on her own.
Okay, so
Thoda
now
lamba answer ho gaya,
we have kind of gotten a lot of insights about a single father raising a kid. I mean, I was brought up by a single mother, but I don't have too many friends who have raised their kids on their own. Like either they remarried or, you are one of those who have taken that thing on your own and, raised like a beautiful child, because I know her. And so why paragliding? Paragliding is very, very important to you. Like every time, every weekend or every alternate weekend, whenever you're free, you're in Pune, with your gang. And
you've come.
Yeah, I've come. So how, and I felt that it's kind of, I won't say you're running around, but it kind of gives you a little bit of your time. Something which you really would want to do probably every day, 24 hours in a day. So what has what's the importance of paragliding in your? It's not just a sport, I know.
Yeah.
So how do you put that?
So we're not connecting parenting to paragliding, but it is definitely a help in the journey of life. First of all, the first time I went for a course, it was with Lali in Nasik in 1996. Most of my friends were not even into paragliding then. I got back into paragliding in 2004, and again Lali was there when I went to the Kamshit place where we fly, and so was Ahana. So she also tried paragliding, and she apparently told a friend of hers that, look, Sajid is going flying, and because I firmly believe that she'll be fine. Like, imagine that thing inside me that no, she'll be fine. I will fly. So what? I'll come back. And so much was my conviction that when I was on that course, that 1 month before she passed away, I was in the air, and I remember I was in sort of a venturi. Venturi means neither was I going up, neither was I coming down, neither was I going back. It was like the speed of the air was exactly the speed of the glider, and I was like at one place, which is not a good thing to happen. But I was new at that time, and I remember just staying there and just feeling a sense of freedom, and sort of, like I said, I sort of connected and prayed for her. Like, I hope she just gets better, because I wanted her to also come and join me in this. Like, there was a big connect at that time. I remember that moment very strongly. What paragliding eventually gave me is there's a disconnect. Once you're in the air, you don't worry about anything. You just stay in the air because you're busy flying, you're busy doing stuff, and there's freedom of going to so many places. You can go up, down, you can go side, you can go on this side, you can go in angles, like so much. It's just a metaphor for being able to go any direction you want, go distances, fly distances, see different things, see from a overview. And it's like what the birds do. And you feel exactly like the birds. You smell the air. There's no cockpit. You smell the air that they smell. You hear what they hear. You can hear the train in that Kamshed area going. We're at 3,000 meters, 2,000 meters, and we can hear the train going. Imagine, never felt like that. Do you know what a cloud smells like? We go inside a cloud and we know what a cloud smells like. It smells like somebody burning something, which you'd never think of, right? It's completely new sensory feeling. So it also keeps you grounded in appreciating what you have on the ground, and that you're privileged enough to be able to do this and find a different world out there. So it has definitely helped me. I took my daughter flying with me all the time. She was part of the pilot gang till she grew up, and she said, enough, I don't want this, I don't want to hear this. Now she tells me very clearly about, don't talk about flying, I don't like it, I'm not interested, it hurts. But she's right, because if you meet a pilot, how will you know if you enter a room and if somebody's a pilot over there?
Yeah, because you always keep talking about flying.
We will tell it ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We have to. We are a pilot. We will tell. So we can't stop talking. So about what we do.
But you never thought it was an escape in terms of that.
No.
Okay, shut everything, whatever is going on in my life, and I just need that one.
No. It was never an escape. It is my passion. I always wanted to be a pilot while I was growing up. We didn't have the money. My parents didn't have the money to make me a commercial pilot. So the next closest thing was I started working for an airline. I love planes. I want to be near a plane, a helicopter, and all that stuff. So it just built from there. And then I realized that, okay, paragliding is like having your own aircraft on your backpack, and you can take it wherever you want to go. You can fly it wherever you want to fly it to, any destination. And it doesn't have any fuel. It uses the sun and nature and wind to fly. So why not? This I can afford. So then it becomes a passion.
And also it gives me a thought that if you're not able to fulfill your first dream, there's always a
chance.
Yes. To in some way or the other to fulfill your dream in this lifetime.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. Paragliding has also kept me sane. Because imagine what you're going through. There also has to be a other side to it where you feel a little bit relaxed, a little bit of things that you want to do. And it's good for everybody. Like you can also come back refreshed and not get bogged down with. You can make better decisions. You give better quality time at home. So I think it could be anything. It could be driving. It could be painting. It could be swimming. It could be anything. But it was passion for me. Flying is I still fly, so like I'm plugging it in still.
So we're just going to wrap up with this last question, because it's always been my like I used to ask my mother, so that's why I'm asking you this question. That do you recollect of any most challenging experience while raising Ahana? Because as a girl, there are a lot of things happening in your emotional space, in your physical space, in your psychological space. And she was 5 when you actually took the charge of a mother and a father both. So I just want to know any incident where you thought कि ये मुझसे नहीं होगा, ये मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा.
Okay, let me put this into a little perspective on how I think about these things. People come to me and say, "Oh, you lost your wife. Oh, you're a single father. Oh my God," and they empathize with me, which is nice. But I want to turn it around and say that I'm here. Please feel sad for my wife who's not here, right? It should be the other way around. I'm here. I have the privilege of raising my daughter, although it's alone, but it's a privilege that I'm able to do that. I don't look at it as a oh my God, I'm single father. No, I don't look at it. I think like my wife is not there, but I am there. She said before she passed away that I want, just a couple of days before, she said, I want to see her finish her 10th. I want to see her go to college. I want to see her graduate. I want to see her get married. I want to see her. I'm there for those things, right? Like how amazingly happy I am about that. I miss my wife, but privileged to bring her up. Now, what are the challenges on the way to doing this? When you consider it in this point of view, it's not a challenge anymore. It is not work. It's not a duty. It's not. I never looked at it from that point of view. It is my daughter. Yeah, I will do anything for her. If I have to sacrifice anything, I'll sacrifice. I don't care about it. And it doesn't even come from within the, oh my God, such a big problem financially or no. None, that aside, challenges. A girl growing up, how do I tell her about periods? So it goes against everything of a guy. I wanted to be a father who my daughter is scared of. I want to be the guy who will come in at home and my wife will say, yeah, Abbas come, Abbas come. Okay, don't do that. Or you go ask him for permission. I wanted that. That was my view. That was my vision. Not vision. That was my thought that, that's how we will grow up because that's what we have seen. It's a complete ulta thing. I sometimes I've asked to ask Ahana, listen, I'm going here. Are you okay? Can we do that? It's the other way around. And what an amazing thing that is. So that is not the challenge. The challenge was to change from the preconceived notion that I had that I am the alpha, that my daughter should be scared of me, and that I should be able to just look at her and she should tremble. I never told her this, but that was in my mind. That never brought up into that. To a point where I want to talk to her about her periods. It was easy. I just told her, listen, Ahana, your body is changing. This is what's going to happen, and that's what you should be aware of. I even showed her physically how to put the pad, how to stick it, how to what's going to happen. Be ready about it. Don't be scared. From inside, cringe. Okay, total cringe. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, this is not me. But I have to make myself adapt to that, right? That's one. When she actually got them, nothing of that worked. Right? So I was like, shit, why did I do that? Then even talking to boys or girl about how their body is changing in the adolescent age, it's difficult for a father to do. Okay, even difficult for a mother to do. So there's this book, What's Happening to My Body, for a girl and for a boy. The first page is the genitals of both male and female with labels. I didn't know we had so many names for the genitals. I had to study, shit, is this what it's called? There's so many things to it. I did not know. I mean, that book is sought after because it's not available. I had to get it from somewhere else. So I gave her that book. I said, listen, you need to read this book. And, your body's changing. And it was very clean, very nice. Absolutely not a problem. Once in Dubai, she was again a kid and we were in the mall and she wanted to pee. So I held her hand. I want to pee. So went to the bathroom. The moment I entered in the bathroom, 7 security guys came inside. Literally, like, batons and all that stuff. And I said, what? Sir, bhara, come outside. So I said, what? Why are you taking a kid into the bathroom? I said, what am I supposed to do? She wants to pee. No, let her mother take. I said, there's no mother. No, you can't take. They couldn't believe. I couldn't take her. She's just holding my hand and she wants to pee. But they're not allowing me to go inside this thing. Ultimately, then I had to tell, bhai, nahi, there's no mother. There's nobody around. And she'll only go with me. You stand here if you want to, but I have to take her in. I need to go. So the world is not adapted towards this.
Yeah.
You need to adapt to this. You need to adapt towards your own daughter. You need to be soft. You need to be kind. And there are so many people who look tough outside but are actually very kind.
Yeah.
So periods was a problem. Not a problem, but it was something that it was difficult for me to do. But I did it easily. Boyfriend. But now she's saying that she wants to go to Paris and she'll get a boyfriend. I said, please, yeah, don't. But that's what she's trying to do. But obviously, it's her life. She'll do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Then,
and she's a grown-up kid.
Then we had that she went through a heartbreak. Imagine you as a parent have to deal with your kid's heartbreak. We have never dealt with that. That is very difficult for me to do. Every time, Ahana, you'll find somebody else. No, you won't find anybody. Don't find anybody else. It's me, is what came from inside. But no, Ahana, you'll find somebody else. It's okay. Don't worry. It was such a sweet, nice thing for me to be able to contribute to that part. Okay, you'll feel this. This is what love is. This is what it will be. Then this is, from your own thing you're giving. She saw me go through an heartbreak with that person, and it was very embarrassing for me. But one thing I realized is that you might have all the logic in the world that you have. I know how to be a good father, because a good husband, because I lost my wife, and I remember that she used to hold my hand and she used to, move it in the road, and she was singing that song, and I said, don't do it in front of people. And I miss that. Forget it. Why are we worried about other people? That I miss that. When you are looking at it from that point of view, you have to let go of those things, and ultimate point is the connection that you have with that kid or with anybody that you have, and you keep it open, keep it simple, and yeah, hopefully she finds a
Good
French
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Sajid is
That
only
I'll have
worried
to.
about Anna finding a boyfriend.
I might have to go to France more regularly to make sure she does it. No,
I think
she
we
should.
had a very good
Yeah.
conversation today,
Thank you so
and
much.
it was quite a insight, and a lot of people are not very vocal about their emotional side, and I'm very thankful that you did open about, because it probably will give hope to a lot of other people who are struggling in a similar sphere of life.
Yes. So, Leena, I think you've touched on a very important topic for many of us who probably are in their own way. And it doesn't have to be single parenting, but could be other painful things that
Yes.
people are going through. But I also want to say that what happened with me is not as bad as also what other people go through. There are worse things that are happening. So I don't want to portray this as a disaster for me. But it's something that happens in everybody's life in some way or the other. This is what happened in my life. This is how I managed it, or did it well or not well, I don't know. But this is my journey, and if anybody can get anything out of it, even 2 cents out of it, I think it'll be worth uh, me coming and talking about it. And really, thank you for this. And I really wish your podcast a lot of success. And it takes a lot of courage also to get these kind of topics
Yeah.
that you do. And I really wish you all the best, Leena.
Thank you so much.